Hey y'all, it's your boy Poseidon, and in today's video, I just wanted to talk about essentially the grind that it takes to actually become good at fighting games, because it's a very difficult, long journey that can be filled with a lot of heartbreak and a lot of feeling like a failure. And a big thing about improving at these games is you have to play them a lot, and you just have to put in the time and the effort. And a big thing that's going to help you with that is just not getting demoralized by what your perceived failure is, because we essentially we have these goals, or maybe you don't have goals, but then it's like failure is, it's not necessarily like cut and dry, it's not black and white. And as we grow up, we go through the school system and stuff, we get told that failure is bad and you want to avoid failure. But the thing is that in order to succeed, you're going to fail, and you're going to fail a lot. You're going to fall short, you're going to think that you're amazing, you're going to be bad, you're going to be the best player amongst your friends, and then you're going to go to a tournament and you're going to get bodied. And it's difficult because we're told to like go against that. It's like, oh wow, like you feel like, wow, I'm just not good enough. But the thing is, nobody just starts off good enough. Like very, like sometimes people do have natural talent, but even if they do, it's usually because they did something else previously and it was kind of like adjacent to it. It's kind of like if you play soccer, you're probably going to be good at track because like you run all the time. So it's kind of like if you play video games all the time before, and then you get up a fighting game, or you played fighting games before, you play a different fighting game, and then you pick up MK, and now you're good at MK because you understood how to improve at fighting games. It's all a big process, and you don't want to get demoralized. You want to just keep putting in the time, and you want to have some sort of goal. Like it doesn't need to be anything big, it doesn't need to be anything major. Maybe just be the best with your character. Maybe you just want to win a tournament. You don't want to be too blunt with it, because then it could get like a bit arbitrary. Because like simply winning, like if you just want to win a tournament, like you can contact me. I'll set up a 10-person tournament with you and a bunch of 5-year-olds, and we'll get you that W, and you can brag about it on Twitter, and you know what I mean, you can brag about it to your friends and stuff, saying you won a tournament, dude. Like we can make that happen today. Because this is kind of like a bit arbitrary. We set up these arbitrary goals that kind of determine failure, and it's not true. And we set these things that cause us to get demotivated or to get demoralized. And the thing is that there's no such thing as an unrealistic goal, only just unrealistic deadlines. And the reason that we're getting upset with ourselves in this process of improving at the game is because we're not as good as we want to be at the time. It's not that we can't eventually get to that point, it's that we're not currently there. And the thing is, if you want to get there, then you really just have to put in the time. Just put in the effort, play the game, play your combat league sets, lab situations that you need to, or just practice, your combos and your moving. And the thing is that when it comes to setting your goals, there's a few things that come with that. But one of them is you want to be realistic. Like if you work 60 hours a week and you have a wife and kids and, a side business and a sick mom, like you're not going to be able to play 8 hours a day. You're just not, and you could still improve. You could still get better. There's a player in the Smash Melee community. His tag is Lod, and he is a surgeon. Like literally, he was playing and being a top 100 ranked player, and still improving and getting better and better results as he went through med school, and is now currently a surgeon. And he's still, I mean, I feel like recently he hasn't been like amazing. I don't know if he's been incredibly active, but throughout like med school and even becoming a surgeon, he was still like top 80 major tournaments and stuff. So you can still get better if you're disciplined and you're able to be like, okay, like I have 2 hours a day, I'm just gonna maximize this 2 hours. I'm going to practice every single, I have between 8 and 10 p.m. every day, and you put that time in. And so like being dedicated in that way will be very, very helpful in being realistic, because you're like, I want to play 8 hours a day, and then you just can't because you don't have the time, because a lot of people don't always have that time. Another thing when it comes to setting your goals is you want to have like the bigger goal, and then you want to have like smaller goals. So if you're like, I want to be the best player in the world, then it's like, okay, well then come down to, okay, I want to be the best player in my region. And then I want to, smaller than that, I want to, top 8 a tournament in my region. And then when it comes to those goals, what you want to do is you want to set up action-based goals, and those are the biggest thing. And action-based goals are things that you can do on, a daily basis. It's pretty much, that's the thing that you have the most control over. So you can't control if you win a tournament, because 50% of what happens in any given match is up to you, and 50% is up to your opponent. Depending on the game you play, maybe you play 2v2 games, and it's only 25%. But you can control if you play 4 hours a day. You know what I mean? So if you want to set the goal, I want to play 4 hours a day, I want to enter 5 tournaments a week, you can control that, and that's stuff that will help you get better. I want to go into practice mode 30 minutes a day. Those are all things that will help you improve, and those things that you can control, and you can do those on a daily basis. Those are huge, and if you can set those types of goals, even if you don't do the other two, you don't have the big goal or the smaller goals, but you just have the action-based goals, that will help you immensely. And another big thing is, like, if you're playing the game actively, you are getting better. You are, even if you feel like, oh wow, I suck, I'm not getting any better. I feel like I'm not as good. I'm as good as the day I started. But the thing is that your skill is relative to the other people. So as you get better, other people are getting better too. So let's say, for example, you play the game and there's another person who's better than you currently, and you guys both put in 20 hours a week into the game playing it. You know, there's logically you're not going to be able to get better than that person if he's already better than you and you guys are putting in the same amount of time. You know what I mean? So the big thing is that what you can do is you can outwork them and you can put in more time. And I understand, like, you don't always have that option. You don't always want to prioritize it. You don't have to, but then that's just being realistic with yourself and not getting upset or being mad that you're not the best player in your region, or you're not the best player in the world, or you're not a top 10 player. You can't win tournaments, or you can't hang in top 8, so you can't make top 8s, because you understand that, like, hey, I'm doing this and I'm going to try to be the best player that I can be, but I simply just cannot put the time in that these top players are putting in. And that it just all helps you add up and helps you view it in a more healthy way, because I see a lot of people viewing the community in a very unhealthy way, and they view they're competitive, and me included. There's been plenty of times where I get really upset, or like tournament results, it's hard to hold your L's and your W's, your W's, you hold your W's, but holding your L's, it can be hard. And you know what they say, like, you're either winning or you're learning. And if you can improve your relationship with losing, that'll be very helpful. And something that a player, that's kind of like a mentor to me in a way, Tweety, he has said that, like, you don't want to completely crush your ego, because the ego is the thing that motivates you, that makes you want to get better and improve. And it's good after you lose to be a little salty, because that means you care. It's like, fuck, I should have won that, or I should have had that. Or, you don't want to be thinking your opponent sucks. Maybe you do. Maybe that helps you. I don't know. It doesn't help me. But you don't want to get to the point where you're so upset that it makes you not want to play, because the thing is, the perceived failure that you have isn't a cause to play less, because you just don't have the skill. It actually should be a sign that you should play more, so you can get to the level that you want to be. Like, failure is like, okay, I haven't done enough previously to get to the point where I want to be. So there's either two things you need to do. You either need to ramp up what you're doing, play more, or you need to stay the course. So if you're putting in 2 hours a day because that's what you can do, then stay the course and you will get better. You know what I mean? Or if it's like, okay, like, you're not improving, at the rate, or it's like, maybe I'm not doing something right, then maybe you need to ramp it up. Maybe you have some more time in your day and you can put in 4 hours a day, or 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. You know what I mean? And that's all the stuff that's just going to help you, reach the potential that you can reach in the FGC. And that's if you want to do it. As I said, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. It's not the biggest thing in the world. Not everyone can be a pro. Not everyone can make a living off doing this. But it's just something to think about, and something that can help not only improve your relationship with fighting games, but also help you reach your potential in fighting games. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was fun to make that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.